But whatever the motivation, we know this. Too many Asian Americans have been walking up and down the streets and worrying, waking up each morning the past year feeling their safety and the safety of their loved ones are at stake. They've been attacked, blamed, scapegoated, and harassed. They've been verbally assaulted, physically assaulted, killed. Documented incidents of hate against Asian Americans have seen a skyrocketing spike over the last year, let alone the ones that happened and never get reported. It's been a year of living in fear for their lives, just to walk down the street. Grandparents are afraid to leave their homes. Small business owners targeted and gunned down. Attacks on some of the most vulnerable people in our nation, the elderly, low-wage workers, and women. In fact, Asian American women suffered twice as many incidents of harassment and violence as Asian American men. We're learning again what we've always known. Words have consequences. It's the coronavirus, full stop. The conversation we had today with the AAPI leaders and that we're hearing all across the country is that hate and violence often hide in plain sight. It's often met with silence. That's been true throughout our history. But that has to change because our silence is complicity. We cannot be complicit. We have to speak out. We have to act. In my first week in office, I signed an executive order directing federal agencies to combat this resurgence of xenophobia. The Department of Justice is strengthening its partnership with the AAPI community to prevent these crimes, in addition to its other work to take on violent extremists and domestic terrorism. I'm calling on Congress to pass and get to my desk the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act.
But first, breaking news on this Sunday night. 9 victims fatally shot tonight across 4 boroughs in a recent surge of violence in New York City. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Torres.
And I'm Sandra Bookman. The deadly shooting started just before 1 this morning in Brooklyn and continued throughout the day in Manhattan, the Bronx, and Staten Island.
Okay, let me try to get this straight. After a record year of violence, not just in New York City, but across the country, and we're going to show you something from Atlanta in a minute too. But after a record year of violence, where mostly black men, but the black community in general has just been suffering, you stop because, and not to belittle anything that's going on with the Asian community, because obviously there's a fucking issue going on over there. But I'm trying to make a bigger point here about the black community and our devotion to the Democrats and Joe Biden. Like, when do black grandmothers get to feel safe? When do black business owners get to feel safe in their own neighborhoods? When do black families get to feel safe walking down the streets in their own communities without being harassed and targeted and shot and all these things that you say only Asians are going through, apparently? Like, I find this shit highly insulting that you come out with, and this is even a little racist if you think about it. You blame COVID-19. You say people are saying Asians are responsible for COVID-19, so they're attacking Asians. And what do? You make a COVID-19 hate crime law to protect Asians. So no matter where you go, you're tying COVID-19 to the Asians. This is fucking insane. And then, seriously, when do black people get to feel safe? Like, are you going to protect black people, Joe? And not that I'm really begging for you to come and look out for me. Like, I don't want your protection individually, but I think this is the height of hypocrisy that after a year, a full-on year, we're going into now 2 record years probably this year of insane crime levels across the nation, across all the black communities, and you only want to stop. You do executive orders and you looking for federal legislation to protect, the Asian community, Asian grandmothers, Asian women. I guess black women, we don't need to protect black women, right? Y'all got this. Y'all straight, right? All right, cool. Joe don't need to look out for y'all.
Who gonna check me, boo? For our top story tonight, folks, just 3 weeks to go, and 2020 will go down as a year violent crime ravaged Atlanta and other major cities across our country. Tonight, one veteran city leader tells 11 Alive that she has never seen crime in every area of Atlanta like it is right now. 11 Alive's John Sherrick is digging into the data, the fears, and the remedies, and he joins us live from Midtown Atlanta. John?
People living here in Midtown Atlanta and all across the city are frustrated with all the crime, frightened of it, and demanding action to stop it.
Crimes in Buckhead on Atlanta's north side have been drawing a lot of the attention. Throughout this year, gunfire erupting at least 7 times inside Lenox Square. On Tuesday, 2 Good Samaritans were shot and wounded at Peachtree and Collier trying to stop a carjacking. The list goes on. Neighbors fed up.
We just want to fix, like we're over it.
I feel nervous leaving my children here.
And the Atlanta Police Department's crime map for 2020 so far shows violent crimes not only in Buckhead, but blanketing the entire city. City Council President Felicia Moore says she's never seen so much crime everywhere like this.
In every part of the city, and citizens are a bit wary.
She believes the pandemic is partly to blame. People on edge, out of work, struggling as never before. Homicides up 48% over last year. In Police Zone 2, which includes Buckhead, murders are up 33% from 6 murders to 8. By contrast, Police Zone 3, which includes Southeast Atlanta, murders are up 79%. And there have been more murders there this year so far, 34, than in the past 2 years combined in Buckhead.
Buckhead has certainly been very loud and vocal about the uptick of crime that is happening there, and has gotten, because it's Buckhead, a lot of media attention, which causes some resentment in other communities where they feel that they have been also wanting to have more police presence and more protection.
Because our silence is complicity.